Your final pot for a tomato plant should be about 10 gallons and should have holes in the bottom for drainage. We want to cover those with rocks so that the dirt does not fall out the bottom, and it allows excess water to escape and prevent the roots from becoming over wet and creating the opportunity for root rot. I then fill the pot about 3/4 full with potting mix, which is a coir base with vermiculite, and I add 1 part to 10 compost to give it some extra nutritional value. I then dig a hole that is about the depth that I want my plant to go, which will be quite a bit deeper than it is in its current pot. The next step is to add some slow-release fertilizer. The first is bone meal, which is the phosphorus base that promotes flower growth, pollination, and fruit development. The second is bone meal, which is the nitrogen base, which promotes the root development and a nice strong foliage. The bone meal is quite odoriferous, and so you may want to wear a mask when you're doing this, but I try to layer that in, get some in the deeper layers, get some in the middle layers, and then a final amount on the top. I'm going to use about a 1/2 cup for this 10-gallon pot of the bone meal. The second amendment is the blood meal, or the nitrogen base, and I use a smaller amount, maybe a 1/4 cup. I have added some compost, which gives a little nitrogen boost to the potting mix. And I don't want to burn the roots with too much nitrogen when I put in the seedling, so this will be plenty for the 10-gallon pot. So now the soil is ready, and we need to prep the seedling to go into the pot, and we're going to want to be very careful with the fine hairs that are along the base of the stem. We're going to remove 2 of the leaf branches to allow us to bury this plant quite a bit deeper and allow those little hairs along the base of the stem to become additional root systems for the tomato plant. Now we are going to plant this seedling right up to that first branch, but first we need to loosen the soil, and so we squeeze the pot and then carefully cradle the stem so that we don't crush any of the fine hairs, and pour that out, and it should come out in one nice solid piece. And then we examine the root ball. These look very healthy. Sometimes they get root bound and start to spin around the bottom of the pot. These have not done that yet, so we got this out just in time. And now we place it in the hole and begin to backfill the soil to stabilize this seedling, and then just begin to pack that down gently. We don't want to compact the soil, and that looks good. The next step is to bring the soil up to the grade and about 1 inch below the top of the pot. Now we smooth that out and pack that down lightly, and it is ready to water in. This is a 2-quart watering jug. I don't need a lot of water yet. This soil was already moist, and that gives us stability for our cage. I'm going to insert this cage carefully, bringing these branches up above before I press down firmly. I don't want to break or rip any of these leaf branches. Once my leaves are positioned properly, then you just firmly shove the cage all the way to the bottom, and that'll give the plant the stability that it needs for the next month or so. I will add additional stakes up to 6 feet high to give additional support once the plant reaches full size, but this one is ready to go.